Hi again, you filthy, unwashed crustaceans, and welcome back to a nice steak dinner with your family. And today, the internet is in outrage. And what over this time? Well, to many people's shock, once again, James Charles made the highly controversial decision to keep being James Charles. And the responses are going viral, with internet audiences thoroughly split on the issue. Some people argue that James Charles should have learned his lesson from the last time that he chose to be James Charles. That by now, he should know better, should have learned from his mistakes, and in not doing so is exemplifying a negative pattern of behavior. While others claim that James Charles being James Charles is simply not that big of a deal, and is yet another example of people taking a minor thing and making a mountain out of a molehill in order to just be angry about something. I'm personally of the opinion that while James Charles has been James Charles in the past, him being James Charles now is a much different situation than when he's been James Charles prior to this. And trying to equate these two very different instances of him having been James Charles is extremely dishonest. This bit is over now. My throat hurts. Hi again, and the real reason we're talking about James Charles today is because recently he was hanging out and making a video with his friend Bretman Rock. I've never had to pronounce that name in my life, so let's hope I got it right the first time. But before we talk about rocks, I want to talk about how it really rocked my world when I found out that only half the people watching this video are subscribed. Like, what's the deal with you other half, weirdos? You are so weird, weirdo. If you'd like to stop being weird, I have some good news for you. Because I've put together a 3-step plan that you can use to integrate back into the society that we sure do live in. And it goes a little something like this. Step number 1. If you're enjoying the video, drop a like on it. It would be much appreciated. Step 2. Subscribe to the Kwite YouTube channel for your daily dose of illegal serotonin hits. I know you're deficient in them. And finally, step number 3. Turn on notifications for this channel so you never miss a video again or fail to do so and be resigned to a life of side-eyeing looks, you weird weirdo. But these two getting together was a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of fans were really excited for this and what was going to come out of this new dynamic duo. One that puts even the pair of baths and toasters to shame. And one of the things Bretman Rock posted that let people know they were hanging out was this tweet asking for questions. Ask me and Jamie Charlie some things. And a lot of people were excited, asking for a makeup collab between them, and others saying how endearing and cute the nickname Jamie Charlie is. Rightly so, may I add. And of course, I was excited too. I was all for this exchange. So much, in fact, that I wanted to take part in this historic occasion. So I humbly requested, bro, can I hang out? And to my surprise, nobody reached out to me. Not Bretman, not James, not anyone from their team. No one sent me an addy to slide to. Nobody reached out in any capacity. And it's like, do you know who I am? I am the Kwite. I'm like really famous in certain social circles. Mostly the imaginary ones that keep sea bears out with varying degrees of success. And those are the ones where it matters. But regardless, this was very clearly a personal attack. There was no way James or Bretman hadn't seen my tweet, like, come on. And even after having done so, they neglected to respond to it in any way. They didn't even drop a like on the tweet. So it was obvious they were trying to send a subliminal message to me, one meant to spit on me and make me feel even lower to the ground than I already am. Well, if it's a war they want, then it's a war they will get, because I'm about to dredge up some shit that I'm sure James would have much rather forgotten. It's time for a cut so deep that not even Anthony Fantano's gonna understand it. Let's start a couple months ago, back when James Charles was being severely memed on for having an old Minecraft survival games channel where he played Minecraft survival games. That eventually led to him unironically teaming up with PewDiePie in Minecraft Mondays, a time which I still view as the pinnacle of YouTube. And it was in this Cretaceous period of the internet that James began surprisingly posting gaming videos to his main channel. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be like a recurring thing, but it only ended up ever happening once. Other than the instance where a year prior to that, he did a sponsored video with Epic Games where he played Fortnite. The world truly is a weird but beautiful place when I'm able to realistically combine my rage directed at children online with my lust for James Charles's voluptuous Ninja Turtle shell-sized ass cheeks. But the reason I'm bringing all of this gaming stuff up now is because of an even deeper cut into gaming that will bring James's career toppling down onto him like Harrison Ford's The Call of the Wild did at the box office. Oh, you didn't get that reference? Yeah, then my point's made. A while ago, my friend Hoover looked even further into James's old channels, discovering one from him called James Dickinson, that at one point was filled with song covers that suffered from crippling like to dislike ratios, but is nowadays barren and empty. But there was one video that spilled the ever so incriminating beans on James Charles like no other, and I'll let Hoover deliver the hard-hitting news here.
There it is, people. The nail in the coffin. Jay's coding Mario Kart Wii hacker, player, and clan member? What the actual fuck?
When doing my research for this video, I hadn't intended to come across something so damning. My goal was to make a lighthearted piece of content that at the end of, I could say, hey, it's just jokes, guys. But that's not what I got. Sometimes you come across something so evil that you have to put aside your pride and stand up for what's right. What kind of gamer would I be if I simply let slide and use for comedic value something to the level of what James Charles has done? I refuse. I simply refuse to do that. It's become clear to me, James, that you have chosen, and always unapologetically have chosen, to commit the high crime of being James Charles. The actions you've taken have affected the wider community of gamers everywhere, and it's not okay, James. You have to pay. And to convince you to pay and to own up to what you've done, I'm taking my case to the stage. For those of you who don't know, I was at PAX East last week, and while there, I got some of the gamer community's opinions on James Charles. But to do so, I wanted to get into their head, so I took on the character of someone who leaves YouTube comments saying, "You just got kissed by James Charles, like to undo," and I charged full speed ahead to see what results I could get. As I first set foot on the escalator down to the show floor, I was brimming with optimism. I had stars in my eyes, and I was excited to find out the public's opinion. Hey guys, I'm at PAX East. What's up? So we're here to find out what the public really thinks about James Charles and his various heinous misdeeds. More importantly though, I wanted to see some Animal Crossing ass. Tom Nook double-cheeked up on a Tuesday afternoon. I really wanted to see Isabel. I'm kind of disappointed. We got KK Slider, but he's not performing Mo Bamba, so like, what's the point? Does he even know how to use that ukulele? Poser. Poser. Just like James Charles. But as I spent roughly a microsecond on the show floor, it became very clear, very quickly, that nobody at PAX East knew who James Charles was. Nobody at this event knows that James Charles is. Please tell me you know.
I do not know.
Damn it! Damn it! I am having no luck. I am struggling immensely. This day has been terrible. So we tried a different approach.
Thank you so much.
Shut the fuck up. There! The man with the JoJo jacket! How do you feel about James Charles's butt cheeks?
They'd be better in my hands than on his ass, that's for sure.
He's right. He's right. Who would beat whose ass in a bare knuckle fist fight? James Charles or Tfue?
Oh, it's James Charles for sure.
Do you think James Charles's cock is cut? This is James Charles. Based off of this first impression, do you think he is Snip Gang or no?
What is Snip Gang?
I have no idea what that is.
What's Snip Gang?
Do you think he's circumcised or no?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a Jew.
I don't know. I can't make that call. I think that's a character flaw. You might want to work on that. You need to have a sense for these things. How else are you going to make friends in this world? You stick with your kind. Based on first impressions, do you think he's Snip Gang or no?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do this.
That didn't go at all as planned. But we're at the end of it anyways, and so here I am, calling you out, James. You need to take responsibility for what it is you've done. I know what side of this debate I am on now, because the pattern of character you show isn't something that started showing up after YouTube popped off for you. It's something that is at the very core of your character that you had even as a child. You are always James Charles. There was never a point where you were ever going to stop, was there? You should be ashamed of yourself, buddy. But James is only one half of the equation. We can't forget the other person who didn't invite me to hang out. Bretman Rock. He seems like an interesting fellow, so if you guys want me to do the old shimmy shimmy on his grave as well, 15,000 likes and I'll make a video. Or maybe I'll make it anyways. You guys won't know until one of those things happens. But I wanted to end this video talking about something James Charles had tweeted about the other day, and it was this TikTok right here. Before I play it, for some backstory, James Charles did a meme where it seemed like TikTok had become a dating site as of late. So he did a dating profile thing where he names his interest in stuff, and you were supposed to duet the TikTok with yourself and what you were interested in stuff. And so we got this wise guy coming out of it as a result. this is exhausting, I'll be honest, but James said this in that Twitter thread. This happens weekly at this point. Some guy slides in my DMs or matches with me claiming they're interested. We talk for a few days, and once they have enough recorded content for a TikTok or tweet, they post it and claim they're straight. It's queerbaiting and it's pathetic. The funniest / most embarrassing part of this is that almost every single one of them actually flirted, sent inappropriate photos, or came crawling back after their post went viral to apologize and say that they were actually still interested. I have my receipts on them all. Not to bring up old tea, but this shows that this stuff is very real. It was happening before my scandal and continues to happen even more now. Many boys are closeted, curious, or clout hungry and will do anything for attention. It makes dating extremely difficult and confusing. Now that's a lot at once for sure, but James Charles's best tweet on this thread was by and large when Rice Gum tried to slide in. They scared and don't know how to handle you. What's up though? Before being handily denied with a no thank you. Fret not, my brother Brian Lee. We will win another day, Rice Gum. But right now, Tfew's got a monopoly on that ass. Now there was a lot in those few tweets, but focusing solely on the video, I want to say that it would have been kind of a nothing clip for me if it weren't for one thing. If the kid had just said he was joking and didn't expect the thing to go this far, it would just sound like somebody who's gotten in over their head, but in a relatively harmless way. But it was the inclusion of, keep in mind I'm 17 and straight in the middle, right before showing DMs with him and Jane. Like, considering who the TikTok is about, the association he's trying to make seems pretty clear to me at least. I could be misinterpreting how he meant that, but it feels especially strong when the DMs we've seen from him don't seem like they are showing obvious disinterest or are giving some clear indication that the kid in question isn't sincere. Just, I've been a fan for so long, I'm so happy you responded, I'm literally shaking. Like, I don't think the dude in the TikTok is an explicitly bad guy or some malicious conniving bastard, but it's like, come on man. It's things like this that I think highlight James's frustration with the whole thing in a very understandable way. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like. Remember, 15,000 likes in that video on Bretman Rock. I promise it won't be me, maybe, or mate. But yeah, also subscribe with notifications on, or keep being a weirdo for the rest of your life until such time as when you inevitably do subscribe. Cop the merch at massedup.shop. You can follow me on Twitter at Kwite, on Instagram at Kwite.png, and on TikTok at Kwite TikTok. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I will see you guys next time.